Hello guys, let's start today. Question that we have is Leetcode question, and today we are going to see this Leetcode question. Okay, so let's go. So the question we have today is 1444 1444 and number of ways of cutting a pizza, right? So what we have to do with this question, we have to find number of ways of cutting a pizza, right? So let's read this one. Okay, so given a rectangular pizza, it is represented in row into columns, to all the rows into columns, that is, you can say the matrix, which contains either character A, right, alphabet, that is an apple, and there is either a dot, empty. So you have given k integer also, right? So you have to cut the pizza into k pieces using k minus 1 cuts, right? So you have to cut the pizza with a cuts, a pieces, right? And you have to do k minus 1 cuts, right? So for each cut you have you choose the direction, vertical or horizontal, right? So either you will choose vertical direction of cutting, right, or horizontally you want to cut, either vertically or horizontally, right? So then you choose a cut position, right? Then you choose a cut position at the cell boundary, right? Cut the pizza into two pieces, right? If you cut the pizza vertically, give the left part of the pizza to a person, right? Then we have to give the left part of the pizza to the person. And if you cut pizza horizontally, right, then give the upper part of the pizza to the person, right? Now what you have to do, right, give the last piece of the pizza to the last person. Okay, so it is saying that if you are see, let's suppose if this is a pizza, okay, so it's saying if you cut the pizza vertically like this, okay, so it is saying that give the left part of the pizza, means this pizza you have to give to the person, right? And if you are cutting the pizza in you can say horizontally, means this one, right, means this part. Let's suppose this is your pizza and you want to cut from here, right? Then upper part of this pizza, this one, this part you have to give to the person, right, this part. And what you have to do, you have to give the last piece, remaining piece after cutting this one, to the last person. Okay, now it is saying then you have to return the number of ways of cutting pizza, such that each piece contain at least one apple, right? You cannot cut the pizza like a slice, right, like small slices like that. Okay, each slice should have at least one apple, right? So those number of ways the pizza you can cut, that you have to return. Since the answer can be huge number, so you can take a modulo of 10 to the power 7 10 to the power 9 plus 7, right? And number of ways, why it is saying that, because see, there is two ways, either you can cut what vertically or horizontally, right? So there will be the possibility of like each apple to store here, right, in a piece, right? And similarly with this, right? So what you will do, you can let's understand first the second you can say example first, right, and then we will understand about this one. So in example, as you can see here, we have given these apples, right, and here it's empty, right, where you will see this like it means empty. So see, first of all, let's suppose if someone have got this pizza, right? So if I want to cut and want to give this pizza to anyone else, right? So first part we have to cut from here, right? So that's why you can see we are getting cut from here, right? First we are going with horizontal. So first of all we have taken horizontal cut, right, and we got this one, right? Remaining we have, so now remaining is this one, right? So now if you'll cut a single cut, right, so this part will become waste, right? If we'll cut from here, right, it will become waste. So what we can do, the remaining part here, right, that is this, we will cut this part, then this part, right, so that three people can eat. If we will cut from here, only one people can eat, right? So the first approach we have taken horizontal. Now we will take vertical 1, vertical 2 and vertical 3, and here we taken horizontal 1, right? So in this approach, total how many ways we have cut here, right? So we have cut this one in how many ways? First is h1, another is this vertical to got sorry, not v3, v1 and v2, h1, v1 and v2. So three possible ways we have cut, right? And similarly you can see here, right? So you have cut this one, and then you can cut from here, right? Similarly, if you take like this one, you can cut this one, it will become like this one, right? So total approach, the first approach is this one, second approach is this one, a1, a2 ways you can say, right, not approach, and third one, right? So total ways is 3 ways we can do the cutting of this pizza, right? So it depends on how you cut, right? You can cut from here, right, directly. You can cut from here, right? But you have either you will cut this vertical from here or either here. If you are directly cutting vertically, you will cut from here. Then you can cut either this one or this one, right? So these are the ways you can cut the pizza. I think you got it. If not, let's see the another example. So in the another example, we have given some a like this we have given, and why I'm saying that we have not understand this one. Okay, so in the first part we have given first part we have given in the double quote, we have given a and then 2 dots, means first we have given apple and then we have given dot. Let me delete this one. Also see the input. Okay, so in the input we have given pizza. So first is we have given a and then 2 dot, means first we have apple and then we have 2 dots, right? So similarly we have given here, right, first we have given what, a apple we have, then we have given 2 dots, right? Again we have given what, apple and dots. Again what we have given, three dots, right? So in any of these ways, right, if you'll cut this apple, there is what possibilities, right? What is the possibility? Let me see. So I'll go here and take another color. Let's suppose I'll taking this one. Okay, so first of all, let's suppose we will cut this either this approach, right? So there will be one pizza, right? So now it is remaining is what, how many pizza? 2 pizza is here, right? One is here and one is here. Okay, so I can cut this pizza. How? Now this part is done, right? And this part is we have a and dot. Now I will cut this one, right? Another, in what way you can cut this one? You can cut by this half, right? Let's suppose. So we will get what, a and then we will get what, a. Let's suppose like this one. Okay, so again you can't do this like this one, right? So that's why we can because we this part we have already given, right? So we cannot, you will think like this, I will cut and then I will give this part to another. No, the first part, if you have cut this one, this part, right? So this part after cutting you will give to the person, right? So he is enjoying with the 2 apple, right? But if you'll cut like this one, right, this one, right, and then you will give this one piece. And let me tell again. Okay, I'll take the eraser actually. Okay, I think you understood, right? So what I'll take this one. Okay, now good, very good. Okay, so what I'm talking about, see, I'm saying if we will do the half cut from here, right, so this part now we will give to person, correct? Now remaining is this one. So after this remaining, it will look like how? It will look like a dot 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 dot. Now you can do half here, right? So this part will give, and then remaining will do this cut and will give, right? But this is the first approach, right? This is the first approach. Second approach, I'm saying, if we'll cut from here, right, from here, so after cutting we know that this left part we will give to the person, right? So don't think that we will cut this one again like this half. No, we can't do that, because we have given this one to the person, because after first cut you have to give to that left part of, if you're doing horizontal cut, you have to give to this person, and so that there is only one approach will be there, right? Similarly, if you represent this one, you will get like this only, right? So because why I'm saying that, see here it is saying in the question, so if you cut the pizza vertically, right, if you cut the pizza vertically, give the left part of the pizza to the person, right? And that's why the second example it is saying, if you cut the two apple like this one, right, and there is remaining here, it was remaining, here is dot, so this part you have to give this one, that's why you are getting single one, right? And if you cut the pizza horizontally, then you will have to give the upper part, this part you have to give, correct, this part. That's why we are taking these things. I think you got. If not, please let me know in the comment box. Okay, so this question has been asked in you can say Fanged, right? So this question is very important, you can say, and Google has asked multiple times this question. This question is related to dynamic programming. Actually, you can do the memorization here also, right? So after this making this question, I'll try to make this question, right, selling piece of wood, right? I will do that. Okay, so coming back to this one, right, we have approaches, right? So the first approach we will see is dynamic programming, right, in which we will see how to cut, how we have to cut, right? So we know that first part, either we will go with you can say horizontal cut, or either we will go with the vertical cut, right? So if we'll do the vertical cut, right, so this part, after cutting this part, we have to give to the person. If we are cutting the horizontal, we have upper part we have to give, right? So if you are doing vertical cut, you have to give the left part. If you're cutting horizontally, you have to give the upper part, right? So coming back to here, if we'll do represent into the row, column, and next row, right, it will look like this one, as we have in here horizontal cut. And if you'll do this, right, the vertical cut, and make sure that each cut contains at least one apple here, right? So you have to cut in such a way you will get at least one cut in every slice, right? So when one cut a rectangular part of a pizza, either a vertical or horizontal, as you can see here, right? So the remaining part is also a rectangle, you can say, but smaller ones, right? So once we give a person that the left or the upper part of the pizza, we always keep the bottom right part of the pizza, correct? Because we have a smaller rectangular each cut, right? And each cut create a sub problem, you can say. So we will solve the problem using dynamic programming, right? And that will, you can say, that will take little time, so don't worry, we will extend this video to the little far, right? So you should watch complete video, right? Now understand what will be the state of the dynamic programming, right? So on other words, you can say, how can we describe the current status of a pizza? So the first, we need to know how many cuts left to make, right? We will denote this number as, you can say, remaining cuts. Okay, now understand, if we have a second cut, right? So the first we will do what? We need to know how many cuts are remaining, right? And then we will understand. Second, we will see, we need to know what part of the pizza remains on the table, right? So you have to take you have consider that you have row that denotes its topmost row, either you can say this one, topmost row, this one, right? Or column that denotes its leftmost column, right? Either of these you have to take. So the remaining part of the pizza will become what? If you'll re-represent this one, right? So the pizza will become, you can say, will take some, there will be row, right? And it will move from where? Row minus 1, right? There will be some rows, you can say some rows minus 1 it will go, right? And the column is what? We have column, so this column will go to where? Till the columns minus 1, correct? See here, we are starting row here, so we will move, we can move what? In this direction we will go like this one, correct? And if we have column, so column will move in this direction. In both example, either you can take this one or this one, right? Either you see the vertical cut or horizontal cut, you have to move like that only, okay? So what if you're taking the horizontal cut, you will start from here, the first cut you will come here, second cut here, third cut here, right? You are choosing this one, right? But if you are taking vertical cut, you are moving with the columns, you are moving with the columns, correct? So you have to see, you have to go with row, so move to all the rows, right, to the last row, and column will start from the column to column, last columns, right? You have to move in this way, right? So you can say the state of we will take the state of dynamic programming, we will take the state of dynamic programming. So you can consider, let me write here. So dp of, you can say we will take there will be some remaining, right? Why we will take remaining? Because till then only we can move, right? We will take remaining, then we will take a row, right? And then we will take column, you can say, right? Remaining, row and column, three things will take in the, what we can say, into the dp, right? So there is three state, we can say, if we have into you can say in the dp, right? So why? Because dp that contains remain, row and column will be the number of ways to cut the rectangular part, right? We'll go with the pizza, row to row minus 1 and col minus col this one, right? As we have already seen this one, okay? So if we will have some remaining, right, cuts, right, we will take modulus, that one that we have already seen, already known that we have to take the modulus of 10 to the power 9 plus 7, we will take modulus, okay? And so we can say the base of the dp, if remain is 0, if will come to either this last position or either you can say this last position, right? So now this remaining will become what? 0, right? And this will be your base case, okay? So once we will remaining will 0, we will stop, we will not do anything, right? So when one does not need to make any more cuts, right? So what will happen? This function sorry. So this function that we have, right, this pizza, it will return what? Sorry, this pizza, this one, right? If we do not need any further cut, means remaining is 0, then we do not need to make any further cut, right? So if the pizza of this one contains at least one apple, right, then we can say what? dp of here, if we'll represent this one, so dp of 0 means no cut, we have no further cut we will do. Then we'll sorry, then what we will have, let me, sorry, give me 1 second, I have to take actually eraser, okay? So what I'm talking about, so I'm talking about this dp, right? We have 0, then what we have row we have and column we have, let's suppose, okay? So we have row, column we have here, okay? So what will happen on this value, it will become what? It should come 1, because no further cuts is required. So there is only one way to no cut, right? And we will give this piece to the last person, whatever will come, only one piece is there, right? So this is the last piece, right? And we are giving this to the last person. So if once we know that if we give to the person, we will not make any cuts, right? that we have seen the example 2, right? We have already seen. So otherwise what will happen, the pizza of this one, I am talking about this one, right? So pizza of this one, right, from row to rows minus 1 and column minus 1 contains no apple, right? So there are no ways to give the piece to the person, because we will give only if this piece contains what, at least one apple. At least what, one apple should be there. If there is only at least one apple, then we can give, otherwise there is no way to give this piece to the person, right? It means if it is coming 1, then we will give. If it is coming 0, we will not give. If it is coming 1, we will give. If it is coming 0, we will not give. I think you understood. Okay, so this will become your base case, right? So what we will do, we'll try to find this one, right? So first of all, we should understand when one cut the rectangular, right, either horizontally. Let's suppose we'll cut the rectangle with the horizontally. So one first choose the row. So we will take one next row. Let's suppose we have some next row, suppose. Okay, so this next row will move what, from row to, you can say, rows, right? Where to cut, each time it will update, right? So upper part after the cut will be pizza row to next row minus 1 and column from column minus 1, right? And the bottom will become what, next row to row minus 1. Why I am taking this next row? Because we don't know. First we have taken let's suppose here this cut, right? So what will be our next, right? Which row we are going to? Either we are going this horizontal or vertical, we don't know, right? That's why we have to take a intermediate variable from where we have to move, right, from row to next row, or you can say next row to row minus 1. That we have to see. I will see that one, don't worry, in the code. So we can consider the vertical cut with the same logic, right? Once we will first choose the column, right? What we will do, we'll consider the next column, right? And we'll column minus what, next column will move similarly with the column, right? So better what we will do, let's try to calculate first dp. We'll check if remaining is greater than 0, then we will move. If not, we will stay there. Okay, so let's go and understand the coding. Okay, okay, so we are back here, and what we will do, we'll do the implementation here, right? And to do the implementation, right, we have to focus from very initial, right? So let's do this. Okay, so first of all, we have what we have given. We have given pizza, we have given, and k we have given, right? So we will start from where. First we will find our rows, right? We have given let's suppose we have rows we have given. So this rows is nothing but what we have, this pizza. Let's suppose we have given this pizza. So pizza dot will do length, right? This will be your rows, correct? Now we'll find similarly column. So columns is nothing but our all the calls will take, right? So calls will become we have pizza, right? So at the pizza, if we'll find the first row, let's suppose, and from there we'll check our length, right? So this will give its length. I think this should give. Okay, so first of all, what we have find our rows, then we will find our columns, right, at index 0. Okay, because see, this is our string, so a string at the first index, right? We have to take our length, so length will find our answer. Okay, now we will take you can say dp, right? Before dp, we should also take one apple, right? So that what will happen, apple will you can say we will cut the apple, right? And so we have to take the apples in each slice, right? And so that we have to take this one, right? So let's suppose we have a pizza, right? We have to take a pizza. So let's suppose number of ways to cut the pizza. First of all, we'll take number of ways to cut pizza. Number of ways to cut pizza is what? To cut the pizza is rectangular, right? So pizza is what? You can say not pizza, rectangular, right? And rectangular part, that is pizza, at what? There will be some value, that is our rows, and this row will go to where? Rows minus 1 length. And similarly column will go to where? Let's suppose it will go to cols minus 1, right? So actually we can say that the rows, the pizza we have given, right? This is the number of ways we'll take, right? And this is nothing but our what? Number of ways will store what? That will be our dp, right? Dp, it will take what? That we are talking about, it will take remaining, another will take what? Row you can say, and third will take column. Or either you can put into, if we'll do the try state, will pass like this. That's all. Got it? Like this you can say. So number of ways to cut a rectangular pizza, like this you can do that, right? Okay, I think you got it. Okay, now to find this one, right? And to find the, you can say dp, you have to define your dp, right? Okay, so what I'll do, first of all we'll take integer. This is nothing but our dp, and this dp will contain 3 state that we have already seen, remaining, row, column, and then we'll define its value. So remaining is nothing but our, let's suppose, is nothing but our k, correct? So initially we'll have the k, which number of cuts we'll do. Then we'll have our rows, and then we have calculated already columns. So this will become your dp. Now one thing we have to take, that is number, how many apples we have, right? So to find the number of apples, what we will do, after this we'll define, let's suppose we have array int, and we should take apples, and these apples will store its matrix form, right? So how many apples we have, right? Let's suppose we'll take int, and we'll say rows plus 1, and similarly we'll take column plus 1, like this. Okay, once this is done, what we will do, we'll come to we'll move to the you can say pizza, and we'll find the cuts with the apple, right? That have the slice that have the apple. So how we'll move? First of all we'll make a loop, right? And this loop will start from int row, and this row should go to rows minus 1, and this row is nothing but what? Should be greater than equal to 0, and this is going to row minus minus. So why it is happening? Actually we are doing let's suppose we are doing first we are starting with the top row, right? So top row is row minus 1, then row is greater than equal to 0, and then row minus minus we are doing. Like this we will go. You can say from top to down we can go. Similarly we'll consider from the column, and we'll start the column, we'll take int call, and int call is nothing but what? Calls minus 1, and call should be what? Greater than equal to 0, and call minus minus, correct? So we have taken both row and column, and we have started from there only. Okay, now what we should do, first of all we'll take we'll try to find, is there apple? If yes, let's suppose we'll take a int. Let's suppose we'll give the is there apple or not? Is there let's what we can say, apple or not, right? We'll take a variable. Let's suppose we'll take a variable value at you can say value at, you can say each column that we will take, right? We'll take some you can say row. At each row we'll take the column, right? Each value at row and row call. Let's suppose I'll take this one as, you can say, we'll take a pizza. What I'm trying to say, we have pizza. At this pizza there is some row, right? Means from there what we'll take char at, I don't know why it is not coming. Yeah, char at the char at what we will take, some column will be there, right? So at this row there is some column, right? If this column is having equal to what, that we can say in single quote, we'll take apple. Is there is apple? If yes, we will tell 1, means we'll take the cut 0. So you can say remain is remaining or not, value you can say is remaining value at you can say do that, right? So is remaining will take, and we'll say if we have apple, means we have apple, means we'll say 1. If it is not, we'll say 0, right? Now what we should do, we should take the next value, right? So I'll take int apple. Let's suppose I'll take apple 1. So what I'm trying to say, at apple, let's suppose at apples, we have taken apples here, and at apples we'll take row and we'll take +1, and then we'll take what, calls, right? So at row +1 we are incrementing our row and column, and we're checking is there value, right? So is there value, whatever the value will have, means previous value we have already stored here, right? Similarly I'll take int we are apple at, you can say next apple at next row, and this is we can say apple at next column. So this will become apples at, we'll take what, row will be there, and here it will become call +1. That's all. Okay, now we'll check, now we'll store this value, we'll do the calculation and we'll store this one, right? One more thing we'll check, if it is not, if we are exceeding row apple and column, right? So we'll take int no apple, and this will become what, at what, where apples at row and +1 and column +1, if this one, right? After this what we will do, we'll store apple information, next apple information at here. So to do that, what we'll do, we'll say apples at row and column. First we'll take what is remaining, whatever the value is coming, that we'll take, right? Then we'll take what, apples next row, we'll check in the next row, then we'll check into the, we can say, in its next, and we'll do minus if we don't have apple. Okay, so this way we can do this, right? First we'll check and we'll store this one. Okay, now you will have your apples at row and column, and you will find you will have, right? So in the next what we have to do, we'll take a dp at 0, and we'll say row call equal to what? We have apples at row call we have, and if it is greater than what? 0, if not 1, if have 0, if greater than 1, this, then this, right? And this is shows our remaining apple, remaining cut we will do or not. Okay, remaining cut we will do or not, that it decides. Now the best part is that how we'll find our remaining, right? So after coming to this loop, we'll take the mode, and mode is nothing but our 10 to the power 9. How many is this? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you have to take how many zeros? Count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? You have to take, count again. First of all, what you have to take? You have to take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many have taken? Not do like this only. 3, 3, 6 and 7, right? 3, 3 and 7. Wait, let me check. Actually 3, 3 looks correct. Yeah, it's correct one. Okay, always take like this. Now 10, because 10 to the power or what? 9 plus 7. Okay, now we'll move to the remaining. Okay, so I will take the remaining, you can say int remaining, int remaining equal to 1, and then remaining should be less than k, and remaining plus plus. Okay, now we will start the row and column. Okay, so for int row will start from where? 0. Row should go to where? Rows, right? Mine, yeah, rows, and then rows would be plus plus. Similarly, I will go with for, and we'll take int call equal to start with 0, call should be less than calls, and we'll say call plus plus, right? And once this is done, then we will find our next, that we are talking about the intermediate row, right? What will be our next row, right? That we will find. So for that we have to go to the for, and we'll say this is our next row. So next row is nothing but what? Row plus 1, correct? And this next row is what? Should be less than rows, and next row plus plus. I think we got it. Okay, then what we will do, we'll find our you can say we have gone with what, first we will go with remaining, then row, then col, and then we will find our next row. Now we'll find if we have apple, right? Let's suppose we have apples at row and column. If apples at row and column is what, we'll do let's suppose we'll do minus, we'll do minus, and we'll say apples at the next row, apple at next row, and column if we'll do minus, and if it's greater than 0 means what, we have some because apples at row and column will have total number of you can say it will store your, you can say how many at this row, how many at this row, and this column how many apples are there. And if the next row we are doing minus, if it's still there means it will be greater than 0, and it means the remainings are here. Got it? So remaining apples are there, we can do the cut. Now what we will do, we'll take dp and we'll say remaining, we'll take remaining, and another will take what, we'll take row, and another will take what, column. First we'll take what, dp at remain, row and col, as we know, right? And this will store what, previous value will of this value, and then dp at, because we have to find what, total number of you can say ways, right? That's why we are taking plus equal to remaining minus 1, right? And that next is our next row, correct? So the next row the dp at remaining minus 1 and next row, and then we have column. So at this value will store, so the new ways will get stored into the previous one each time. After this we'll take the modulus, right? At what, we have already calculated this one, so you have final value at here. So what you can do, you can do modulus at here only. So for the modulus we'll take this one equal to we had at mod, right? I think you got it. Okay, so we'll take like this. Okay, once you once your you have taken the mode, right? After the next row, we'll go for next column. Similarly we'll do the action. So we'll take for loop. Now we'll go with the row, but this is our next call. So next column is, as we have seen here, right? We have seen here, right? So the same thing we'll do for here. Or either I can take like this, I will paste this one here. We can do the same scenario, only update this one. We'll say our call. Let me update this variable first. So I'll take next call, and where is the next call? Here next call, here next call. Okay, now from this will become our not row, it will become, you can say column, right? This will become column, and this will go to calls, and next it will remain same. Now we'll take at apples at row and column, and apples at row, this will be our first will be our row, and this will be our next column, because we are talking about the column, right? And similarly we'll update our row will remain same, only column will get updated, and I think so it will remain same. First we'll check what, if row and column having some value, then we will do what, minus apples minus row and next column. If greater than 0, then we'll do what, the remaining value will get stored onto the DP, and we'll say this is our next approach, right? And this value will get updated. Okay, so what you have to take care here, we are taking what, next row, here we will taking next column. Okay, and whichever will come, that will store here. As you can see here, DP row and next column, here DP next row and column. Okay, that you have all to take care of, right? So what I'll do, after going through this one, we will update it our row column. Okay, so coming back to here, what we should do, we should actually return our DP. So let's return DP at what, some k value will be there, so k minus 1 at remaining, will pass the 0 and 0, it will store our total number of ways here, because remaining is what, k minus 1, last, we are going to the last, this row is 0 and column is 0, that's why we are returning like this. Okay, let me run this one, working fine, let me submit, working fine, good. So coming back to here, let's understand the code. What I did, I have first started our pizza dot length, and then we find our rows, and similarly with the you can say columns, right? After this, we have taken apples to store the remaining apples, and we will find DP to store all the you can say number of ways to cut the rectangular part of the pizza. As you can see, we have indicated the comment, right? Now what we will do, we'll find our remaining parts, right? How we'll find, we will find from here, row and column, we'll find the remaining apples from here. So what you have to do, we have to find our first is there apple or not. If there is apple, we'll take in this variable. If the row plus 1 will check, and column plus 1 will check, and row plus 1 and column plus 1, and we'll do this operation here. After this operation, we'll get our apples at row and column. Now we'll store here onto the DP at 0, row and column, and this value will return later after updating each time. How we'll do that? First, we'll take the modulus, we'll go with the remaining apples, row and column will follow. From in the row and column, two things will follow. First, for the you can say next row, and this is for the next column, and both places will find our number of apples, and from there like here I am checking in the all the rows, is there apple, then we will do the cuts, and will update both places. Will update our DP row and column will update each time, and each time we'll do, after that we will do the modulus. Once it is done, we will return our DP at k minus 1. Okay, so I think you got it. If you have any doubt in this video, right, please make sure to ping me in the comment box so that I will help you there. Okay, so if you'll talk about the time complexity, right, so time complexity is, if m is the number of columns, right, and n is the number of rows, right? So and key we have to do the you can say cuts, right? So time complexity will become what, I'm saying that n is the number of rows and m is the number of columns in the pizza, and k we have to do the number of you can say remainings, or you can say cuts, right? So to do that, what we have to do, we have o we have, right, and then k, n and m. So these will become your you can say k and m, these are the states, right? And for the remaining, this is k, you can say remain, row and column, right? So we will have this one, right? So for each state, we iterate to the next row in O of n order, right, and next column in O of n m, right? So to do that, one more we have to do, because for row and for column we are moving, right? So O of m, this is for O of n, and this is for O of n. because for next row and next column we are moving. Similarly for the time complexity TC, what space complexity, what will take? Will take just to store these three, right? Because we are storing, right? That's all for I have. Thank you guys. Right, we are storing dp at k, row and columns, right? That's why we are taking O of k and m. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe this channel, so we will get more videos like this. Thank you so much.